Welcome to the Friendly Jimmy Shawarma episode.
We're back. Welcome.
How are you doing, miss?
Good.
Had to wake you up early in the morning for this one? Did you?
No. I woke up on my own.
You know, you woke up. You know, I'm actually. I did just before coming here.
You're like he's.
I had to first go to the post office to pick up something I missed.
Yeah.
I picked that, and then I went to the tobacconist next door to get the vape. You know, pod special necessities. So I go in there, and the guy's like, he's just a zombie, right? And it's
all nighter.
You know, it's like 10:30.
Yeah,
it's not super early.
Yeah.
So he's just like a zombie. So I go there. I was like, "Oh, hey, how you going?" And he doesn't respond. And I was like,
"The hell?
Hi, can I get a Ali Barber vape?" And he's like, "What flavor?" And I said, "Can I get grape?" And he keeps looking at me, and then he gets like the thing from his like, you know, the ones that have the flavors, and he hands it to me, and I look at it and I go, "Can I get the grape?" And he says, "What number is it?" Because it was like right next to numbers.
Okay.
And so I go, "Oh, it says 8." He's like, "Okay." And then he goes again like a zombie. He's got like a box, a carton, right, filled with vapes. So he goes, he opens it. And he's looking at it, and then he just like pauses.
Yeah.
So he's bent over.
What the fuck?
And he's just paused.
What the fuck?
And so I'm looking at him like. So I start like, that's when I was like, I'm running 10 minutes late. And so I was like, I'm just looking at him, and I'm waiting, and then he like sort of jolts up, and then he's like, he does it again. It takes like fucking 10 minutes for this process.
Is it on PCP?
Then he gets it out. And he puts it on the table.
Yeah.
And he's like, card or cash? And I go, card. He's like, okay. And he does something on his computer. And the FPOS machine is there. Nothing happens on the FPOS machine. And so I'm like just standing there. And then I go like, bro, there's like nothing on here for me to pay. And he goes like, oh, okay. And then, so then I pay. And then just as I'm paying, he says, "I'm sorry, I'm just very, very sleepy. I just woke up." And I was thinking to myself, first of all, bro, it's 11. Secondly, why are you getting sympathy from the guy who you've wasted 20 minutes for doing really basic things because you keep like falling asleep?
Can I ask you?
And the reason why I bring this up to you, Miss Love, Indian. the punchline.
You know what I was about to ask?
What? Brown. I don't mean this.
I was literally about to ask, may I ask what his nationality was?
May I ask how I can racially abuse this man?
No. But you know why I think it's happened?
What?
I think that he's like looked at you and been like, my brother. And he's like, I shall... Okay, I'm really looking into this way too much. But I'm overthinking this, but I reckon he goes, my brother, I shall display my humanity and brotherly like connection in the cultural expectation of our collective culture, which is, and this is anyone, like if any race, they do, I feel like any race that is like a minority.
Just say ethnicity. I think that's a better word to use. I know this is a podcast.
You're good at this. Okay, any ethnicity where there's like, they're like a minority and they say, like, I noticed this, where they do this thing where it's like, you know, Croatians will do the same thing where it's like, it's like almost like you can be more relaxed around them, and you have this thing where it's like, you know, yes, and then like stretching, and then like taking your time, and then it's like, you know the struggle, you know how it is, and it's like, and you're just like, yeah, man, I know the struggle, but you're literally wasting 20 minutes.
And also like
I get it.
You're not really super hard working, clearly. I mean, look, if I walked in at like 6 a.m., I can 11. Understand this.
Yeah, but you know what?
Dude, it's almost midday. You can't even say good morning in an hour.
I think that like
you have to say good afternoon.
I think that like it was his way of being like,
you know what's up.
Yeah, it's like, you know the struggle.
Yeah, but what he doesn't know is that I'm married to a white lady.
And also
which
you
means,
don't know what's
bro,
up. You're like, no, bro, I don't know sympathy.
I haven't slept in since 2020. Like, I don't know how. Like your kind of white miss, the Newtown variety is a very specific variety. It doesn't apply to the rest of Australian masses. Because, like, the rest of Australian masses just somehow will wake up at 5 a.m.
100%.
to do whatever the fuck they want. Like, they will get up.
Masters? Australian what?
Well, what
You said
I say?
master, Australian something. I don't know what you're saying, but anyway.
I
go
can't.
on. Aussies, you're saying white
Yeah.
people get up at 5 a.m. and go running, right?
Well, running if they're, sporty and, like, Bondi type.
Yeah.
But, you can be like Darryl Campbelltown and still wake up at 5 a.m.
It's true.
Like, in the hopes that one day you'll explore a market that opens at 4 a.m. And it's so weird, bro, because, like,
Keep going, I fucked this up.
it's so, the thing is, now we work in media.
Yeah, we do.
We do work in media.
In media, low-paying media.
Which means that quite often we have late nights, right? Like,
Yeah.
most often when we record the pod, when we
Late.
weren't
It's like we finish at midnight.
afraid of dying because of the dark,
Yes.
we would end up finishing at like 1, 2 a.m., which
Yep.
is just the hours.
Yeah,
You start late and you finish late.
Yeah.
Now, technically, that's supposed to mean that if I come home at 2 a.m. and end up sleeping at 3 a.m., I should be able to
Sleep in.
wake up at 10,
That's correct.
11.
Correct.
Fair?
Correct.
No. No, sir.
Says who? The other half. The better half.
Well, the thing is, like, dude, the other half just wakes up. And then, like, she'd be doing stuff.
Yeah.
And you inadvertently wake up.
Yeah.
And
of
so
course.
so I have been deprived of sleep for the last 5 years of my life. That's just how it is. And so I was not sympathetic to this Indian man who was
saying you get the struggle
Yeah,
having to wake up at 10:30.
yeah, bro, like, try sleeping at 3 a.m. and waking up at 6 a.m. every day.
I'll be real, dude. If I went in there for a vape, that whole little performance he gave you wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, you would have called ICE immediately.
No. I wouldn't care, but he would.
You'd also be like, both of you are sleeping. Someone else walks in and just like two guys.
I think he
paused.
I think he would have behaved differently around me. Whereas with you, he was like, my brother. And
No,
it's
dude,
like,
I think he was just
maybe not
sleeping.
Maybe I'm wrong.
That's what was happening. He was
Maybe
sleeping.
I'm wrong. Yeah, because I do actually.
And it's also like,
Because I do actually.
you also understand, like, okay, another thing that I can understand.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday morning.
No, it's
Or
not.
no, I'm just saying, like, if it's a Sunday morning or if it's a Saturday morning,
Right.
I get it. It's 10:30, it's 11.
Sure.
But you had a big night.
It's a weekday.
Bro, it was Tuesday. Like, what, you went too hard on Taco Tuesday? Like, what went down?
I reckon there's just a certain contingency of servo clerk or whatever they're called that's just sleepy all the time. But usually,
Well,
it's
look,
it's usually because they study. Like I'm doing a full-time
Bro,
IT degree,
no,
and
dude, it's because they're doing. Well, look, I don't want to be mean, but like I have family and like I have friends as well. Dude, they're doing Uber at night. They're doing Uber Eats at night.
Shit.
But you remember Sammy? At one point,
Yeah.
his life was effed up, where he decided that he doesn't need sleep, so he was gonna work morning somewhere, afternoon somewhere, evening. And then night. And I was like, what about sleeping? He was like, oh, I'll sleep on the
I'm
train
dead.
when I'm going from one to the other. And then you know what happened, dude?
What?
He did that for a month. And then one day he was
Had a heart
flipping
attack?
burgers at a Porto.
Yeah.
And he just passed out on the grill.
no, like burned himself.
Well, no, he been burned because he likes just fell asleep. But he was just like, he just fell asleep.
He was Homer Simpson, where you know how the Quickie Mart, where he just.
That's exactly what happened. And like his coworkers were trying to wake him up. They thought he died. Anyway,
But did he have the Simpsons thing of he was late, he stole, he was rude to the customers, but still, there goes the greatest damn Porto burger flipper I've ever seen. Did he got
no,
that?
dude, I think they told him like, we're firing you because you're gonna die otherwise. And then
Dude,
he
that's
found
what
a
I call-
job.
that's called hustling, bro.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wait,
so,
no.
And then he
We're
found
not
a job
done
where he
here.
could sleep on the job.
And what's that?
It was cleaning trains at night. He would go in, so like everyone would get in a compartment.
Yeah.
He would quickly clean, whatever that means. and then he would just sleep in the carriage. Wake up, get out. I don't know what he's up to anymore.
Bro,
honestly.
that is not. Oh, that is so sus. That is so sus.
It's so sus. This
Because-
guy was also being sus. I mean, he was on the clock.
Yeah, because I've seen.
And they're not studying, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they're not studying. I've seen. I've caught these trains you speak of, and man, I've seen them clean the trains, bro. You're not supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah, no, you're so. Look, we'll move
What
on.
a crack up, dude! The whole hustling world, like, dude, this book too that I've just nearly finished.
The Kitchen Confidential?
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain.
Oh, I thought you were in the Kitchen Confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, kitchen confidence. This is your fork. No.
You know what you just did?
You said cute.
That's a real cultural faux pas from my background.
What?
You know what? If I was a normal Packy, what I'd do
Oh.
after you put your foot on your book, I would do this.
Wait, that's yeah. What? It's not the Quran, dude.
No, it's, you know what it is?
What?
It's like that YouTube ad. It's knowledge. And your one is supposed to respect knowledge.
So I'm not allowed to touch it with my foot.
Oh, yeah. That would be considered very rude.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, this book is full of like the escapades of heroin addicts and like lewd sexual acts. So, like,
That's a really good point you make. No one questioned the Matrix. Like, what if it's about cocaine?
what if it's about like blasphemy and drug taking and like it's like
I think
kiss the
in
book.
that case you have to throw it from a high place.
throw it to a high place.
Throw it to a high place and let it come down, and then do it again. Then it is purified. Then you can jerk off on it.
Very simple rules.
Very simple rule. You know how we not started the
Again.
segment again? We
Dude,
do this every time.
I think we're starting to think that this is the up late, but like that's a good
is-
thing. That's a good thing.
Well, this is
'Cause
the
I
other thing
like
that's
the up
happened,
late.
and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
We've forgotten and they've blurred into one.
No,
Oh.
that's what happened. Is this 2017?
Before the cancellation.
No, it's that our segments lost like 40 minutes. Like we can't finish a segment.
Is that bad?
I don't know.
You know what's happening
What?
here? You're a stoner and I'm naturally a stoner. So it's two stoners.
Yeah, but like, how are we? Like, I still haven't started this first segment.
It's not a bad problem to
It
have.
never happened when it was you, me, and Jordan.
Really?
We would run out of segments.
Shit. Maybe it's because like, dude, because he's like a show. He's a showman and like businessman or something. And he's like bam, 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 and we're just two. Let's be honest, man. We have no business being on this podcast.
All right. Well, on that note, let's do our first.
No, we
segment.
do. Of course we do. This is just a different style.
What do you know? Do you have any opinions on the Democrats caving in and agreeing to end the lockdown?
I watched Jon Stewart's little thing on that last night.
Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm always look. Look. As soon as it's a classic thing. If Jon Stewart says it, it's gotta be true. So yeah, I was like, he makes a pretty good argument, aka saying, "What the beep?" over and over. So yeah, it's pretty weak. But is there not an argument to say?
There's two. I'll give you both the arguments.
Can I try now that speak of vape now?
One argument is, which I guess is the Democratic argument.
Yeah.
They're saying there's a surface argument and then there's a deeper argument. What they would say if you ask them, like, in a political strategy point of view.
Yeah.
The first argument is that we've got a promise that Trump will let us vote. Will bring a vote for those Obamacare subsidies, because that's
Right.
what the issue is about.
Yeah.
The subsidies that basically make it affordable for some people to afford healthcare, right? So Democrats want that. Trump is saying that's like a burden on the budget,
Yeah.
so he doesn't really want it. And so the Democrats are saying the concession that we've got is that Trump has given us a promise to pass a vote. And if you ask them, that's what they're saying
What's
in
that
public. But
worth,
if you ask them, but what if it's an empty promise? Then they'll tell you, is like, okay, well, we thought about that. If it's an empty promise, then we can squarely blame it on the Republicans.
Right.
Tell people that like the reason why your Medicare rebate, like what your premiums are really high, is because of Republicans.
Yeah.
We tried our best. We stopped the government. He promised us, and so we're helpless. That's their argument, right? And then you've heard the Jon Stewart argument as well, which is that
he's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like you again caved in. You had like one leverage and you gave it up.
Yeah.
I think, Democrats made a bad move because they're still playing by the old playbook.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
respect and rules.
Yeah. So Trump's calculus was this time around, I'm not going to agree to the Democrats' pressure. If the government has to shut down indefinitely, fine. Like, that way the federal government like saves more money or, whatever his ridiculous argument is.
Yeah.
And then the reason why he eventually made this promise is because he started seeing, well, particularly the election results freaked him out because it was a total wipeout for Republicans.
Yeah, but that was like representatives for in Congress, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the MAGA base is telling Trump, and rightly so, that the affordability thing got you elected. Yeah. Affordability thing is got what Zoran elected.
Yeah.
If we don't keep hitting that, you'll lose your support.
Yeah.
And I think like that scared Trump and MAGA enough. And plus also like, the other thing that happened was that Trump thought that like, let the shutdown happen. If the shutdown happens, I'm going to blame it on the Democrats. Say like, look, I want to do this. They're not the ones agreeing to it. So all the blame is going to go on them.
Yeah.
People are going to start hating the Democrats and I'll be fine. In reality, the opposite happened, where like the people were started blaming the administration. Obviously, why would you blame the opposition, right?
Yeah.
Like and Trump started seeing that actually the Republicans are being blamed for this shutdown more than the Democrats are.
Yeah.
And so he had all the reasons to then agree to a compromise. Now the question is, why the hell would Democrats do it?
Yeah.
And I think the Democrats eventually did it because they were like, look, we can't keep this shutdown forever. Exactly, I mean, there's like people that are like, and all of that stuff.
Well, that was that's what I was going to say is like, there might be an argument saying like, look, practically today by having a shutdown, people are still suffering. So it's like, it's not, you can't do it forever. Like at a certain point, it's like, it's kind of like cutting your nose to spite your face, whatever. Where it's kind of like, is this just ultimately doing too much damage in the short term, as opposed to, do you know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that, and I'll give you my reasonings for it. So I think it was a bad move by the Democrats for the following reasons. Yeah. First of all, this entire shutdown thing. Yeah. Actually, I'll get to that later. Trump is playing by a new playbook. The old playbook was that both the Reds and the Blues would have little squabbles, but there was like a general consensus on how we would move things forward. No one would push the envelope, right? And so things would move on. And that's the game that Democrats are still playing, where like, yes, we don't like each other, but at the end of the day, the government needs to move on. Like the country needs to go on. Yeah. Which would be fine if Bush or like, old school Republicans were the president, but Trump isn't playing by that rule book. He was very, like, for example, if the blame of the shutdown was getting on the Democrats, Trump would be very happy to stir shit up. Clearly, Trump is a different president, right? So you have to play by a different playbook, which is, you say, no, let it happen. Put the pressure on him. He's starting to feel it. He's the one who's always pushing the envelope. And because it's such a sudden surprise on everyone else and it's a different playbook, people don't know how to react to that and he always wins. Yes. Well, he's adopting a high risk strategy, right? And he's gaining results because everyone's like, we don't want to screw up the country. We'll just placate to this guy. Well, call him. You're playing, okay, let's show you why high-risk strategies is something that people never did before because it can cause huge problems. So let it happen. It would have had another big advantage. Not only would have actually made Trump really, and then he would have to rethink his strategies and like the government, and would have created a crisis, but I think Trump is so willing to create crisis. Like if he's willing to like tariff the entire world, melt down the economy, go to the United Nations and tell everyone that like all the alliances are now gone. Well, then like Democrats, also have to play by that game. Fight fire with fire. Fight fire with fire. And then I think the most important thing that would have happened is even if you believe that your country, at the end of the day, needs to run, I agree with that. I don't want the country to suffer. But this idea that like every year you have a a government shutdown is a ridiculous thing. It's not sustainable.
No.
Now this has become part of normal politics where it's like, oh, Super Tuesday, oh, shutdowns roaming around. It's such a ridiculous thing. If you had pushed it to the nth degree, you know what could have happened? That
Massive
both
wins.
parties would have realized that, okay, we need to stop this shutdown stuff.
It's not going to keep working.
Because it's caused this amount of problems. And then maybe next time around, you would have a work around these shutdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is not sustainable.
No.
Like what? So next time you're gonna have another shutdown.
Exactly,
Every time the shutdown gets longer and longer.
But what would have been your limit? Infinite? Because something's going to
Until Trump caves in.
Until he caves in.
Until he caves in, and if he doesn't cave in, then fine.
Because the Democrats can just be like, "This is we're clearly fighting for you," and he is not caving. Like, the public are going to be pissed at both parties, but anyone with a brain, I would imagine, would be more pissed at the Republicans.
I agree that the public. But look, okay, if you look at all opinion polls, clearly what you're seeing is that the Democrat base wants Democrat leaders to fight Trump. Like, I'm not saying that's a good idea necessarily, but that's what the popular sentiment is. Any politician that goes hard on Trump gets support. Anyone that goes low loses support. Now, what's that telling you? I think it's telling you, just like the Republicans were thirsty for blood for the last 10 years, the Democrats, rightly or wrongly, are in the same position. They want you to fight Trump, which is why someone like Mamdani wins. And, like the standard old school guys aren't winning.
It's kind of like the rule book is sort of changing, and the old Democrats are just being like, we tried our best, it's not working. It's like, I like Jon Stewart's point where it's like, oh, have we got the only old people that realize that aren't persistent? Like, maybe I shouldn't have my license.
They don't know how to adapt to the new game.
Yeah.
Trump is playing a different game. And that game is something that like podcasters like us almost understand more than like old dinosaur
school
politicians.
where they're like,
because we know that kind of guy. We've met, selfish charlatans in our life that know that to what end will they push their selfish desires to?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. It's just the game's changed, and like they need to sort of adapt, right? They need to adapt. Otherwise, they're going to they're not going to.
They need to call Trump's Trump raises. They're a poker. It's like a poker table,
game,
right? So what Trump does is every time he's like, you want to play with me? You want to take my money? I'm going to raise a ridiculous amount. Yeah. And that freaks out legacy Democrats where they're like, well, I don't know. What if we lose? This is going to be too big. But I think like sometimes you need to call the bluff.
Yeah. Are you humping me?
Wait, no, he's not. You're messing with him.
I'm not.
Rumi.
Sorry.
Stop it. That's the exact thing that people don't want on the pod.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think? You think like eventually have to cave in?
I mean, I'm sort of into. I think you're right. I'm sort of into. I understand why they felt like they had to do it, but I think that ultimately you are right. Part of me, kind of like how it's a reality show, has this perspective of like, let's see how long this. Like, I was kind of like, how long is this shutdown going to last? Like, I'm kind of curious how long it could last because they were like, this is the longest shutdown in history, and I was kind of like, let's see how long it can go for because. I think you're right. I think ultimately it will bane badly. It'll be a bad result for the Republicans because if someone just looks at the facts, they're not allowing concessions on healthcare. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is detrimental to a huge swath of the American public. It doesn't take a genius to realize that it's like I don't think the Democrats are the problem in this scenario. Even though Trump's always like it's the Democrat shutdown, but it's like it's really not the case.
Yeah, it's not, and I also think like unlike what Democrats are thinking, I think Trump is eventually going to let these subsidies through, because the thing is, man, like whether you're Republican or Democrat, like they all rely on Medicare subsidies, and like which is why people like Marjorie Taylor Greene were pro these subsidies going through. I think eventually Trump
She's kind of changed.
will let them go through because he doesn't have.
The political
Yeah,
sort
he,
of
at the end of the day, he's like
withdrawal.
Yeah, he's all about popularity and being loved, and he's gonna eventually, because it's gonna be hard for any president.
How can he spin? Because I know his whole thing was like Obamacare is terrible, but he's never really offered an alternative, has he?
Yeah, because the alternative is horrible.
His alternative is just abolish it and let the insurance companies have full control and just the same old story.
What's happening is that like
because he's always talked about it, but he's never actually put anything, from my understanding, forward that it's like, well, here's an alternative, you know?
Well, okay, so you got to think. Okay, so firstly, what was Obamacare? Obamacare. So the thing
I know
is,
what it was.
Yeah,
it was just the government coming in and basically being like, look, we're going to semi-subsidize some of these contracts so that, like, basically we're going to help the poorest people be able to get insurance, right?
Yeah, poorest people, or also like just the least healthy people.
Yeah.
So what the insurance, because insurance cost is so high in America, generally speaking, the insurance cost for like pre-existing conditions and the premium is exorbitant, to the point where obviously a lot of people were uninsured. So Obamacare, like you said, is exactly it. So Obamacare said like, okay, we'll meet the shortfall, you know, so give them insurance, the extra premium that that they can't pay, the government will pay. Just
a little bit of help.
Yeah. And now the insurance cost just keeps growing. So the subsidies keep growing as well. Right? So that subsidy is a huge burden on the American budget.
Right.
And Republicans who want to, you know, at least pretend that they're doing something about their debt, want to stop providing these subsidies. But as you can imagine, if you stop providing these subsidies, then it's the answer is debt. So the only way that you can have a popular program that replaces Obamacare is if there's more coverage, not less coverage, and if it's for less money, not more money, right? So that is the conundrum that Trump is in. So how the hell does he say that these subsidies are bad? He's made it into a partisan issue, which makes it palatable for his audience, where he says Obamacare is bad because Obama is in the name. But in reality, if he wants to replace it with something, he's going to have to either do another version of Obamacare, or even worse, which is a single-payer healthcare system like Bernie. He doesn't want to do any of that.
Right.
So what he really wants to do is for you to be uninsured. Because he wants to take away the subsidies, so you won't be able to afford insurance. Now, that is an extremely unpopular program.
But that's what he wants.
Well, that's what he would ideally want. But he also knows that his base, like his popularity, is based on this.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult situation
I don't know how he's going to work his way out of that.
So the only person, I genuinely believe this, the only person that can replace Obamacare is
Mitt Romney,
Bernie Sanders, with a single-payer healthcare system, because that is the only option that is better in some sense. I mean, what you can do, the other thing that you can do, which is Trump is saying, like, we'll reduce the amount of subsidies.
Yeah, but that doesn't help people.
Exactly.
But is single payer? Is that like Medicare for us? Is that
Medicare. So we have single payer.
Why is that called single payer?
Because everyone's under the same insurance.
Yeah, but the only way to do that in America, I would imagine, is to like slash the their profits or something, break them up in terms of the medical the because they're charging so much, right?
Yeah,
isn't the problem?
But
it's that they charge the most. It's not that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like
I know
the companies from my understanding, the companies are charging such high premiums that it's not affordable in any scenario. Because if the government is subsidizing all of it, they'll be like bankrupt there.
So this is a part that like people in America don't understand, but like people that like us who have Medicare try to explain to them.
Also,
and you get a lot of
also
clapback on it as well. Yeah.
Explain after this point. Explain Medicare more detailed.
So single payer healthcare is actually more affordable than the American system. That makes no sense to them because from their perspective, it's like, well, then we're taking everyone's premium. Like, how are you saying that this is going to reduce costs when you're saying like you give everyone free healthcare? It's like, okay, the way it reduces. So, for example, even America, right? You know, with their shitty healthcare system, they pay way more per capita in medical bills than we do.
Yeah.
And the reason why we are able to do it at less is because our single payer healthcare system allows us to bargain cheaper price based on volume, right?
That makes so much sense.
Whereas Americans, our individual hospitals are doing it. And not only are the individual hospitals doing it, but it's a money-making racket for them where they want to keep inflating the prices because their profits go up. And there's an entire economy, which is not just doctors. There's like multi-layered pyramid scheme system where there's like representatives that are selling it, then the drug companies. Everyone the vested interests are so big that they will not allow anyone to mess this up.
It's kind of like housing here.
Yeah.
Right.
Luckily, we don't have medical as like our housing, but like, yeah, it's the same thing.
Jeez.
So there's so many vested interests. There's like billions and trillions of dollars that are based on the inefficient American system. So it's like...
No, you just explained it perfectly. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Like, it's almost like there's little fiefdoms, which is like hospitals, doctors, pharmaceutical companies, and they're all making so much money that it's like... and then the government has no bargaining power because they're not really.
Not only are they making money, they have the same mindset as you pointed out. The real estate agents in Australia do, which is that like
screw 'em.
They're like Wolf of Wall Street type guys, but they're dealing in health insurance. You know, like greed is good.
There's got to be surely some. I doubt the pharmaceutical companies have some like moral compass about it, but surely doctors do. Surely most doctors are like, I don't want to just maximize profits.
I'm sure a lot of doctors do say that, and but dude, first of all, I don't think collectively there's enough doctors that would be in that position. But even if you are, you can't. Dude, a president can't change this, let alone some doctor. Like, the vested interests are way too strong.
What would Bernie do if he'd
have to force a single payer healthcare system.
How would he do that? Practically, seriously.
He'd have to expand. You know, they already have it, which is a good thing. So they have it for like veterans and certain pensioners. Like, they have what we have, Medicare, and they also call it
Medicare.
I think they call it Medicare or Medicaid. Yeah, Medicaid. One of the two, which is the same system as us, but it only applies to, I think, maybe 20-30% of the population.
That's
you just have to expand it to everyone. Yeah.
So if Bernie tried to do it, you get huge amounts of money, like lobbies and stuff, added, like pushing back. But ultimately, if hypothetically he was in and he could do that, it wouldn't be totally that hard because.
It would be hard, but it's the only other way.
But the thing is, if they did what we did here, right, and the government had more bargaining power, the pharmaceuticals and the hospitals and all that, they'd make less money, but they'd still make a ton of money.
Exactly. Like, dude, doctors in Australia and Europe aren't poor. No. Right? They're not as rich as American doctors are, and that's something that needs to be noted. Like, one of the disadvantages are doctors are not billionaires like American doctors are.
There's billionaire doctors?
Well, yeah, you can make a lot of money in healthcare in the US. But they still have really good lifestyles. And that is I think the point that like we would try to make is like, you don't have to impoverish your doctors, but that doesn't mean they have to be Elon Musk's either.
If you said this to Trump though, I know he would just have platitudes and have he's great at TV, but like, if you candidly spoke to him, and, you know, I suppose Trump is exactly the same off camera, but, you know, we've established that Trump isn't a dumb guy.
I'll tell you what their point is, and it's not just Trump.
He's not a smart guy, but he's not...
Actually, I would argue most of the big politicians in the U.S., including in Democrats, this would be their argument, why they would say this is a terrible idea. they would say that America is number one in healthcare innovation. And if you do that, then our innovation will get stifled, and they'll give examples like communist countries like Cuba, where you tried to socialize healthcare like that, and it led to like horrible repercussions.
Is there any truth to that?
There's some truth to that, but like it's exaggerated. But the point that we would make, because we do live in, is that our medical system
It's pretty good.
is pretty innovative as
Pretty
well.
innovative, exactly.
It's really, really innovative.
It's not this. It's not this all or nothing thing.
Yeah, and for our like, you know, population size and everything, we do pretty well. We pull our weight. Americans will say we're better than you at innovation, and someone like me would argue it's because there's 300 million of you. So yes, you're going to get more innovations.
Yeah,
We're only 25 million.
Yeah, of course. That's a very
so
very,
that's like an ideological argument almost.
straw
where I
man.
believe that
It's like straw man argument.
well, I mean, for them it's not. For them it's
Yeah.
like we built our medical system based on this.
Yeah, and I get what you're. I think that the population argument is a massive one because it's like, dude, you're not innovating because you have more money. You're innovating because there's 350 million of you.
Yeah.
You will innovate probably identically with some of your doctors' money being not tied up in the Cayman Islands.
And you're also like the biggest economy in the world. Like China, as it's getting richer, its innovation goes up. It's not a coincidence
Yeah.
that, you know, as your economy and you get richer,
Does China have Medicare like us?
their actually healthcare is quite affordable.
But is it the same system as ours?
It's a different system.
How's it
I
different?
remember looking at it. I don't want to like go in because I can't remember exactly. I remember looking at it.
Surely it's even...
Their system is actually not similar to ours. It's kind of similar to the American one, but because it's affordable, it's not as much of a problem. From what I remember.
Yeah, they obviously have checks and balances on profit caps. Like,
Yeah,
like China's big on being like, with their billionaires, they're sort of like, you have to tear down 4 of your buildings. I'm like, but why? And they're like, do it. And then they're like, and they do it, right?
And it's just like sometimes we just like,
I mean, look,
give
China
attribute-
is authoritarian.
yeah, in many ways, yes.
Yeah. But it gets results. I'm not saying it's
It's authoritarian, but like in some ways, it's not authoritarian. It, Like
Yeah.
it really depends.
I think that Americans are starting to be like, man, screw the billionaires. Like, we don't need. Like, isn't Musk about to be a trillionaire?
Yeah. $1 trillion.
Is there an argument to say that, like, a trillionaire, you know, some people say, you know, the money is better in, like, I don't agree with this, but some people say the money is better in the hands of one, you know, like, entrepreneurial trillionaire than a wasteful government. But come on.
Oh, I absolutely disagree with that.
It's just
What are you
not
talking
true.
about?
Yeah. Some people think that.
Like you're saying, give all the powers to one
Some
person,
people think that.
as opposed to
It doesn't make
what do
sense.
you call a wasteful government? As in, like people elected by people.
Some people just think.
Sometimes, like Americans live in this weird propagandic
Well,
world.
some people just think that governments are inherently wasteful more than any private enterprise.
yes,
it's
but
just
those
not
people
true.
are reducing in number. So, like, if you look at it,
I'm not saying I agree.
no, I know, but like what I'm saying is like that's also changing. So actually, this gives us a good pivot
Yeah,
to
sure.
our next segment
Sure,
because this
sure.
is exactly about that.
Yeah.
So you know, Susan Lee is having a big demographic issue, right?
Yeah.
The demographic issue being that
Our Prime
young
Minister to
people
be.
are not voting for the Liberals nearly as much as. So the idea was, and this has been historically true for Australia, as you get older, your views become less and less
conservative.
progressive and
Yeah.
become more and more conservative.
Yeah.
So after a certain point, a Labor voter became a coalition voter.
Yeah.
Right. And then, and because there were more people coming in as young people, you sort of had that balance. Now what's happening is that as millennials get older, people like us, we're supposed to become more conservative.
It's not happening?
But it's not happening.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so the Liberal Party is trying to figure out why that is happening. In fact, one of the weird quirk is that millennials are look, both millennials and Gen Z are voting Labor more than they're voting the coalition, but Gen Z actually has a better rate of voting coalition than millennials.
Yeah, because there's this massive turn now with Gen Z. There's a big like conservative. There's more of a conservative push
streak
because it's rebelling.
But they're still not voting. They're still not voting liberal. So like a lot of their votes are coming from other minor parties to the liberals, and I think that's because I was looking like the old school plan that Republicans and the coalition always had was that the conservatives always represented small government, well at least claimed to small government, efficiency, and low waste, right? And that was a popular platform since the longest time, particularly during the Cold War, but even in the post-Cold War world. I feel like that argument is not working for young people anymore. So when they say like small government and efficiency, and like young people are like, well, we're not getting dividends off it. Mm-hmm. Like this platform that you're giving us is an old platform that isn't working. This is my view. That I think that they're not as enthusiastic about the old school conservative platform anymore. So the only way you can really win
more radical
is like someone like Trump, which is like you're a comedian that is really hard to hate, and you have to give some kind of flavor to get their vote. The old school Mitt Romney position of like we're bipartisan, but all we believe is in smaller government. We need less taxes. Government, not more government. Yeah. Less taxes, not more taxes. That sort of stuff is not working with younger people because they're not. I think it's because they're not seeing dividends off it.
Yes.
Back in the day, like boomers would see, like, okay, if I pay less tax, I get to keep more money, and overall my situation is getting better. Whereas like young people are like, man, our situation is getting worse off either way.
Exactly.
Like, in fact, your tax cuts, like you reducing the amount of like, handouts, let's just say, that you're giving or subsidies that you're giving is actually hampering us more.
Also, don't you think, Jordan would probably kill me for saying this, but don't you think in terms of the tax bracket, Liberal and Labor are the same here? It's very similar.
Well, yeah, that's also another thing that's happened where like both parties have like...
They're both very similar in terms of their like, progressive tax system. It's like it's the same thing.
I mean, look, Labor traditionally is, but like, I think from Labor's perspective, like because they were just like kept getting voted out throughout the last decade,
they've
over
softened.
this that they've softened, which is probably.
Man, I had to pay my tax the other day. That shit ain't soft.
No, it's
every time I pay it, I'm like, I live in a communist hellhole. Hellhole all around me.
Hellhole, I tell you. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's not low. Anyway,
no, it's not low. Look, I'm not saying that young people want more taxes.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to offer someone less taxes than more taxes, they're going to choose that. But that in itself isn't enough for support anymore.
No.
Like, you need to come up with some like better comprehensive economic plan. Say what you want about Trump.
Yeah.
He came up with one. He's like willy-nilly tariffing people, which is not a good plan.
But he's done it.
But at least he's doing something different.
Yeah. So the libs are basically like, if we want to get young voters, we need to have a character.
Well, they don't know what the hell they're supposed to do. They're really confused. I'm saying that that's what they would need.
A character. Because
not just character, but like they would need some flavor.
What?
And old school positions are not going to be enough.
What practical advantages would a young person have voting for like a conservative, like a liberal in Australia? None? Literally none, bro.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's like a lot that...
Because I do complain about paying taxes, but then I like Medicare. I guess I like roads.
And you'll still have to pay taxes under Liberals.
It's the same. Yeah. It's going to be the same. It's probably a good thing. I think it's probably a good thing in Australia that there is this kind of overall consensus in terms of tax levels and Medicare and all these kind of things. Because the alternative is America, where it's just like things just flip-flop every 10 years or 5 years. Nothing really, like, it's too extreme. If you have two extremes, then there's no middle ground, and like there's something to be said about stability in the long game. If you have one government in for 10 years, you might be pissed off at certain things, but you can make big, broad reforms and move the country in a direction. If you're constantly going back and forth, you're not really moving anywhere. So I get that argument. And it's like, if you want to be a team player, I get it.
But Australians are kind of good at that, right? They always give you an extra shot.
They do, but I think more than that, it's just the fact that, I'm not saying Liberal and Labor are the same. Like, they obviously, the Libs would...
Each two ass cheeks to the same guy.
I think the Libs would definitely, stifle public institutions more, privatize more, sell stuff off. It would there's huge differences. But if you look at how much people earning under up to 50,000 and then how much people earning up to 100,000 are taxed between the Liberal, I think it's the same. And look, maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I'm not smart. I'm not clever enough to understand this. I'm not smart enough.
The tax rate?
No, I'm not that. Just the effects of someone finishing their year with an extra 10 grand cash in their pocket. How much does that change their lives practically?
I mean, extra 10 grand is a big amount.
Yeah, is it though? How much does it really change in terms of if the alternative is that and the country not being able to pass future made in Australia or whatever the Labor are doing, or not being able to pass mineral exports.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's almost a sacrifice. It's almost like the individual. I mean, it's a very Byzantine perspective. It's like the citizen suffers a little bit more for the greater good to kind of the country to kind of move in a bold direction and something sort of something big ideas, right? Mm-hmm. It's probably a good way to look at it. Yeah. Even though every time I get the taxi, I'm like, I'm moving to Connecticut where they treat their citizens right.
Do they? Unfortunately, if you want to avoid taxes, you're going to have to go to your nemesis.
Where?
Which is Muslim countries with oil. They have no taxation over there.
Takia! It is time for Habibi to move. Yeah, but dude, come on. If I move to, they wouldn't let me in. But like, wait. So they're like...
No, they'd let you in.
So Saudis and Dubai and stuff, they're more American than America.
Well, they also have like a bunch of oil, so...
Yeah, but who reaps the rewards of that oil? Everyone?
I mean, mostly owners of the oil fields, including the government, but also like, Western oil companies that make money off of it.
But is there a middle class in Saudi Arabia and Dubai and Qatar?
Okay, so the dynamics in Saudi Arabia are a little bit different than
which is the most hectic, like brutal one, most capitalist, most. Which of those countries are the most?
Okay, what do you mean brutal?
I mean,
in what sense? Like oppression?
I mean, no. I mean, no taxes, but also no Medicare and no anything. No like.
No, they have Medicare and all that sort of stuff. Particularly if you're a local.
Oh, so it's paradise.
Yeah.
It's heaven. It's heaven.
Okay, so Saudi Arabia is the only one of these that is somewhat, it resembles a normal country because it has a population big enough. So like, for example, places like Qatar and UAE, their local population is like 10% of the population. So 90% of the population are foreigners.
Oh.
Right? So the
tax haven vibe. Because they don't have to pay tax.
Well, yes, because they don't have to pay tax. Yeah. That's why they originally came. They moved there. They started their business there. They never get citizenship there, but they live normal lives, and they can earn money and they have to pay no taxes. And as a result, the 10% of the local population live very privileged life because on one hand, they have a bunch of oil that their government uses and then they subsidize their lives. Then they also make it easier for them where, like, for example, they're, by the way, changing that now, but like for the longest time, the rule was if you want to, let's say, do business in Saudi Arabia, then you have to partner up with the local Saudi. And the local Saudi will probably not do a lot in the business. He's just there because you need someone. They're finally changing this law.
What a weird system.
But this was all to, placate the local population. So for them to have like, but because oil is not the future now, all of these governments are also changing their rules and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is like, so places like UAE and Qatar, because their local population is so small, it's tiny, they don't need to worry about them so much. And they don't even need a middle class because their entire local population is upper class.
Well, which one of those countries has a bigger
middle
population?
yeah, Saudi Arabia.
And what's their situation?
What do you mean?
Okay, so companies go there, you live there, all people, they don't pay any tax. They don't have to pay any tax, right?
Mm-hmm. Look, it's not that they don't have to pay any tax. They don't have to pay income tax. A lot of these countries, they do transaction taxes and stuff, which ends up being a lot less.
So is everyone there rich?
Yes. So the way it works is, okay, so this was UAE. This was an interesting model. Because they only want rich people over there, the way they've done it is cost of doing business is not dependent on your revenue, but the transaction itself. So for example, if I have a company that has 10,000 employees, a big ass company, the amount of tax or duty or whatever I'll pay on a transaction would be similar to someone that has only 100 or like maybe 10 people in their company.
Yep.
So what it does is it incentivizes super rich people to come in, and it disincentivizes poor people to stay there. And so they actually don't have a middle class of that sort, but Saudi Arabia does have a middle class.
But they have a tiny population.
No, they have a bigger population. Yes.
Okay, so what's it like being middle class there?
In Saudi Arabia, good, not bad at all.
Really?
Yeah. Because the government has so much oil revenue,
so basically,
your healthcare is paid for, your education is paid for.
Okay, so basically, what it is all the rules go out the window because you have magic oil to pay for.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You have spice. Yeah. It's June. You live in June, and you have the spice because spice was just a metaphor for oil in June.
Yep.
And you can just all the rules go out the window because you have a money tree.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just lucky then.
Yep. And we're no different in Australia.
We're very similar.
They call us the lucky country.
Yeah, but we have
a very similar thing going.
Yeah, but I feel like we don't tax the oil companies enough. We don't make enough money as a country off the oil. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't, eh?
Well, yeah. So we're better than them in the sense that
better.
Yeah. Because we haven't like hooked our population to mining revenue in the same way that they have. Like their economy is.
Are you sure,
so
bro?
much more dependent.
Oh, even more so.
Yeah, even though our economy is also dependent on mining, but theirs is way more dependent.
Right, okay.
And also their like population is now geared to expect
change,
oil revenue and subsidies from it. Whereas like our population can somehow withstand longer
that's
shocks.
good. You know what's the best though? Those like whatever it is, Norway and stuff, they have oil and they just tax it at like 100% and they're just like
they've done it, I think, in the best way possible. Yeah.
Why didn't we do that? Because Howard was like, nah.
Yeah, I think we were like, again, we were too influenced by the Americans and the corporate demands. Yeah. We set up our system in a way that it, whereas Norway was a bit more intense about it.
Norway, like they're smart, man. They're just like
they're trillionaire. Like their population have like an insane amount of money.
If you're from Norway, do you even have to work, or do they just give you money?
No, you do have to work, but there's a big kitty for everyone.
But their taxes are quite high too, there, aren't they?
Yeah, because they didn't do the Saudi Arabia thing. They didn't use it. They just made a massive fund.
So they have this huge amount of money. You have to pay. Why would they even have to pay high taxes? Because the oil can cover the tax, all that.
Yeah, because they don't want their population to be dependent on the oil revenue. So like what they've done is they're just using the oil revenue as like a massive savings account for the country.
Does anyone abuse that? Like if a Conservative Party got in Norway, would they just be like, we're spending all this oil money or something?
No, I think that they have a bipartisan consensus over it. They do spend, like they do investments.
What's Norway's main economy? Main.
Yeah, it's like oil.
But what does the population do? Work in oil?
No, they do all sorts of shit.
Just sounds smart. It sounds.
Yeah, the way they did it was like pretty damn good.
Because it seems like someone in Norway, if they're like, oh no, my like smoked fish company's going under. Oh well, I'll just
It's not like a thing that you can just access. The government is rich, but individual people aren't rich. Like you can't just like access the government fund.
I know, but come on, you can.
How?
Like somehow. Like, but I bet
You get
their
really good
Medicare-
benefits.
I bet their medical system's
Yeah,
mad.
exactly, yeah,
I bet
yeah.
all their stuff runs well. I don't think that they should have a high tax bracket on their citizens.
I think they should
Why?
because it
Use the
again-
oil money.
no because you at the end of the day you want your population to be productive because what if you don't have the oil revenue? Like these Middle Eastern places will collapse.
If I was Norwegian, I'd be annoyed, dude. I'd be like, just give me some freaking money, dude. It's mine.
Yeah, then you should go to the Middle East with that attitude. Hey, look,
No, but come on.
last segment.
Okay.
Did you hear about this woman who matched with Mamdani during his Hinge days before he was married?
Yeah, his wife.
Yes, that too. But like some other lady
no.
was complaining on the internet that she rejected Mamdani and she regrets it and she rejected him because he had on his profile height 5'11". And so she says that the reason why 5'11" is code for 5'8". And so I rejected him. And then she was like, and then like Mamdani was asked, "Are you actually 5'11"? And he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my height.
Yeah.
You can also see."
That's so dumb.
And so, what do you think about this rule that women have?
There's this whole thing now about height.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's like, but all of a sudden, it's like, don't even talk to me if you're under 6 foot.
Exactly. Okay, I understand how height is an attractive characteristic. Don't get me wrong; it can be.
Yeah.
But why is this the like one and be all for women? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I think
Like, imagine if guys were like, "Dude, double D's only." Bruh.
some are.
But like, even they are not like,
I think,
and they're not demanding like put your
yeah.
bra size on the, and then like also if someone says a size, you're like, well, that's code for lower than that.
I feel like
It's such a ridiculous thing.
I feel like it's very like 1950s again, where it's like how tall. Like I feel like no one used to care as much. I think it's just the internet. I think it's just a bit of a silly trend now. I can't imagine because that's not 5'11's not short. You know,
But she assumed that 5'11" people say that they're 5'8".
yeah, I don't.
Also, 5'11" is code for it. Well, obviously, if women are going to make such a big deal about it, I'm sure people are going to lie. Just like
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
women, you know, there's a thing amongst guys. I don't know if it's true. It's like if a woman says she's 35, that means she's 38. You know,
Yeah,
like so guys have that too. But I don't know if guys like make age that big of a thing while dating.
dude, you know what it is? Toxic like dating app culture, I guess. Like, I don't know. I think it's pretty superficial.
I understand the evolutionary reasons for liking a man with a man being tall.
Why?
Oh, it was a massive advantage. Like back in like hunter-gatherer days, you'd be
Why?
able to hunt better.
Really?
You'd be stronger. You'd be able to protect more. Like taller people are just size. You know, there's a reason why
I
animals
guess-
pretend to be big when they're fighting.
I guess I'm biased because I mean, it was a problem for me till I was, I guess, 15 and had a growth spurt. But like, I'm like 6'3" or some shit, or 6'2".
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's tall, but
That's
like
so good.
So maybe if I was like hell short, I'd be like, this is bullshit. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I think generally,
Dude, short kings' lives are tough. And I'm almost a short king.
but I like the term short king because the word king implies you're a king. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
to like
is it a joke?
make them not protest, you know?
Oh, okay. I thought it was like an actual term of endearment. Or is it like a piss take? It's like short king.
I think it's a piss take. Short king. That's like saying, like calling a kid, "Oh, you little businessman." You know, like, look at you with your tail, you businessman.
A friend of mine actually got pissed off because he's not short by any means. He's not. But
What is short?
I'd say this is a problem too, bro. I don't know. I don't get height. I don't understand. Remember when we were on the pod and then Jordan was like, "How tall are you?" To me, I was like, "I don't know, 5'5" or something."
Yeah.
And then he was just like,
Because you never had to deal with it because you're a tall guy.
"Yeah, but I."
That's privilege.
But I had a
I
grow.
don't even know how heights work.
But I had a.
Whereas like guys, just like constantly measuring their height, dude, and cocks. Every guy knows.
I've done that.
The
yeah.
inches.
I've done that.
Yeah, but if you have a massive schlong and you go like, dude, I don't even know. It's
exactly.
yeah, it's because I can see it like going down your ankle.
Oh
Short
God.
kings know their height.
It's probably true. I mean, but like I had a growth spurt in like year 10, but kids don't think about that shit. But like my idea of like, dude, there was this guy in Perth that was trying to build Jordan a cane because, and he asked me like, oh, how tall's Jordan? I was like, I don't know, bro. And I was like 5'8", I don't know. And then I asked you, and you were like 5'11". I'm like, bro, I don't get height. I don't get the measurements. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. But a friend of mine, he's not short, but like, he was on the apps and stuff, and he was seeing that they were being like, don't message back unless you're over 6 foot or something. And he was like, you could tell that he wasn't like, he was trying to play it off as being like, this is so dumb. But then pretty quickly he was like, this is bullshit, man. Just discrimination. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
By the way, another very important evolutionary reason why women like tall men is because if you're malnourished as a child,
Yeah.
you don't, your height isn't at your DNA coded potential. And not only does it have an effect on your height where you're stunted, you're also mentally stunted.
Wait, what's that got to do with?
So back in the day, traditionally, there was a good chance that a shorter man was intellectually inferior to a taller person.
Oh,
because they might be malnourished, yeah. And by the way, in those hunter-gatherer times, a tall person was probably 5'8". Like the average height was just every year the average height for the world increases as nutrition.
Is that right?
Yeah. We're a lot taller than our previous generations.
That's why all the houses in Lithgow were made for freaking midgets. Because like they're tiny little Welsh miners that like probably like lived off damper and drippings.
Dude, my biggest issue is when I was in Pakistan, I was above average in terms of height. The average height in Pakistan is 5'8" for men.
Right. How tall are you?
5'10". And I used to always be like, I'm above average, bro. And when I came to Australia, you know what the average height is?
No, 6?
5'10".
Oh, okay. So you're literally
bang
on average. Yeah, but that's still pretty good.
Oh, dude, it's so much better than being 5'5". Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But man, I would have loved to have your height too.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it's funny. Like when I see, whenever I meet someone that's like taller than me, it like freaks me out because I'm like, whoa, you're tall as.
You don't get that when you're a short king.
Short kings.
In fact, when you see someone smaller than you, go like, "Huh, loser."
I am.
Hey, no. My question was.
I'm against all forms of discrimination.
Fair enough. Me too. But my question was, you know how like height is such a big thing for women?
Yeah.
What is the equivalent to that for men? Is there one for you?
I guess to be honest, maybe height as well, because like I noticed like with like one of my like exes, thinking back, I'm like, she was short queen, and I'm like, man, that's annoying kind of for me, because like it's like they're like all the way down there.
It's the ergonomics are a little bit difficult. Is that what you're saying?
I just don't think.
I thought that'd be fun for you.
Nah, I just don't. It's like, nah, too short. I guess I'm exactly the same. I discriminate if they're too short, because it's just like, it's not a be all end all. It's just like getting used to someone that's kind of like here on me. It's just like, what the hell's going on down there? You know, what are you like? Picking up rubbish constantly? Is that why it's...
Dude, your is like way more respectable than mine.
What's yours? I know what it is.
No, it's not.
It's not that? Okay, what?
It's not that. Because you can just look at my dating history.
Okay.
What you're thinking of.
Okay.
But it is like, dude, I know like,
otherwise
I should not say this on a podcast because people will... But dude, like...
It is what I'm thinking then.
It's not.
What is it?
It's worse.
It can't be worse.
Okay, I'm gonna say it, and this is just my perspective, and I'm wrong about this. I'm bad, but it's about personal perspective.
Say it in metaphor term. You don't have to say it literally. Say it in innuendo.
If you're like too bogan, or if you're like, and this is the one, if you're like fully uneducated,
obviously that's a bad.
Yeah,
one.
but like you can be really hot and be
it's fine.
Again, I'm gonna say something that's gonna be
say it. You just have to. They have to look.
You're like an eyelash. You dropped out from high school kind of thing.
Yeah.
And or like maybe you did year 12, and then you're just like living your best life. And I love you. Like I'm glad you live your best life. And you're simple.
Sure.
You're into 4-wheel drives. That's your thing. You like horses, maybe. I don't know.
Like that's not. That doesn't correlate. But yeah, go on.
But like. It would just be really hard for me to long term be entertained in life.
That's not bad. That's not a cancelable thing to say. To say you don't want to go out with a dummy, dude. I'm the same.
Yeah.
If someone,
but also not just dummy, just like also like
bogan.
Because okay, there's mental capacity, as in like maybe someone that didn't go to uni have all the brains, they just didn't want to be in it, and but like for me, that's a problem as well because.
Well, dude, you're a learned
what
young
are
man.
we going to talk about?
Exactly. No. That is a huge one. That's for me too.
Yeah.
Like I want. You know what's a big plus for me? Someone that's like inquisitive about the world. Like someone that like that. I just like that in people.
And also like.
I just like that in
dude,
people.
I'm gonna again. This is
go hard.
University education. I need that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying like university is really important for your life. I'm sure you can do it without, but like I need that.
It's very fair.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say university for me. I'm gonna say I'm a bit of a like tripper, and like I'm gonna say like I need to be able to hang out. And this just goes with friends, like anyone. I have to be able to be like. I know for the people listening at home, you can't see this, but it's just a board game. It's just a box. I would have to be like. Be able to say to someone like, this is like crazy that this is this big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd have to be like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, like, why is it this big? And then why didn't they think by chance to design it 1 centimeter bigger in diameter or in circumference, the whole thing? Like, why isn't it bigger? And they have to be like, yeah, true. Because like it could have been bigger. Why is this exact size? And then me being like, yeah, but like, why is that? Like, why do you really think that is? And then we should be able to talk about this box for an hour. But if someone just goes, I don't know, and I go, but like, why? They go, I don't know. That's just that's just the way they designed it. And I'm like, I think we're done here. Like, I need to be able to talk to like everything to me is interesting in this sort of weird trivial way. And if you can't dive into trivialities, then like, there's nothing for me. Like that's the shit that interests me. Like
for me, I don't even need to have like intellectual discussions for you with you for an hour. That's not my point.
No.
My thing is I actually have like friends that I can do that. So luckily for me, I don't have a lot of friends, but someone like Jordan, so both of us do this. When we both have like some kind of heady idea. In Jordan's case, if he's doing like a stand-up show or like if he's making a video, if he has a heady idea, he'll like call me and then he'll discuss this with me and we can sort of have a discussion about it.
Love it.
And it informs him as well. And I do the same thing. I'm not making a video, but like I'm thinking of like something and I'll talk to him.
It's kind of the most interesting part of life. Really.
Yeah, right. And I do that with you as well to a large extent.
Yeah.
I don't need to necessarily do that with my partner. And I don't do that with my partner because she's not interested in the same sort of stuff. Yeah. It's hard for girls to be interested in that. But what I do need is like, if I want to have like if I want to just drop an idea of something, I need you to be able to like understand what I'm kind of getting at.
Yeah.
And then like, you don't have to go into a deep conversation about it, but at least I should know that I'm talking to someone that understands what I'm saying.
Exactly. Like, there's nothing worse when you like say something and then someone's just like, I don't know. And you're like, but just give me anything. Even it doesn't matter how dumb the answer is. Like, no, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. When someone doesn't have an opinion, I mean, sometimes I don't have an opinion on things, but very, 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 very rarely. Like most of the time, I have an opinion on something, and I can because it's like extrapolating things. It's interesting, you know. Everything is interesting. Like how this was made is interesting. Like the fact that this is a fake plant is like probably the most bizarre thing in the world to me. We could talk about that for ages. So it's like, yeah, I agree with that, you know.
But in terms of like physical attributes, there are physical attributes that one finds attractive compared to others. Just as like, height is.
It's true.
But there's no deal breaker for me.
As Seinfeld
you could
said,
be any hair color, ethnicity.
As Seinfeld said, like the qualities that appeal to the superficial man, we all have them.
We all have them,
but those things.
They like rub off very very quickly.
Those things are superseded by
fulfilling life,
the most important organ of all. It's very true. It's very true. I think, and no short queens.
I don't mind short queen because I'm not such a tall guy myself.
It's not that
I actually don't mind shorter or taller.
Really?
That's another thing. Oh, actually, guys, that's another thing guys are like really scared of. Taller women.
Taller.
I always found that attractive as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously? That's strange, dude.
There's something.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, for you, it would be ridiculous, dude, because like a woman taller than you is like the tallest woman on earth. But you do understand that there's women that are 5'11", which makes them taller than me.
But the thing is, there are tall women than me for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But like,
it just makes me feel a bit weird though, because I'm just like, you're gonna beat me up, And if you do, can I wear some leather while you're doing it?
Please.
No, it's interesting, that kind of thing. And for all the short kings out there, you're good. You're doing good. Bro.
You're doing all right, dude. You might become the mayor.
Yeah. How tall is he again? 5'11"?
5'11". He's taller than me.
Yeah, he's not even like. That's not short.
It's not short.
It's not short.
That's above average in Australia. Anyways,
have you heard this though?
Mm-hmm.
If your parents, you're always going to be taller than your parents. Apparently, is that true?
Well, I think the rule is that your aggregate of your parents, you're going to be taller than them, because again, it's not just like you're taller than your parents. It's just as generations go, we're getting slightly taller.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have two friends, right?
But like obviously, if you have tall parents, then you're going to be a tall person. If you have shorter parents, then you're going to be a short person. That's genetic.
My dad's pretty tall. My mom's short.
Yeah, so you got your dad's side. Your brother's kind of short.
Shorter. Not really. He's a bit shorter than me.
How tall is he?
Don't know, but he's a bit shorter than me.
I think your brother's like my height. Max Jordan's height.
Maybe you're right.
Which is
yeah,
not particularly tall, if I'm being honest. It's not short.
Yeah, but I have two friends, Mikey and Lucy. Lucy's, by the way, Fluffy Avems on Instagram. Remember once I was like, man, she checks photographs of birds, and I was like, man, she's not got enough followers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Apparently her phone was. Apparently her phone was just like at home, and it was like, and she was like, huh? And she looked at it, and I was like, you have a follower on Instagram. She was like, and I was like, and then she's like, you have another follower, and then she's like, what the hell? And then she just and it was like. For like 10 minutes, just like, what the hell? And then like 2,000 followers. So good on you guys for
now. Do that for him as well.
Forest Hall band at Jesus. That's what.
Thank you everyone for joining us for this. What?
I didn't make my point.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
That couple. Mikey and Lucy. They're both tall, right? Yeah. They're both very tall. Like, he's taller than me, and she's like my height. Like, they're tall
for a lady. Yeah.
They're tall.
Yeah.
And also like beautiful people, both of them. They're like, anyway, they had a daughter, maybe I shouldn't say her name, but they had a daughter, and she's like, I think 2 now. She's already the height of like a 4-year-old. She's tall, bro. Yeah. She's going to be tall.
I'm sure she will be because she has tall parents.
She's going to be tall.
But sometimes, I had the opposite of you. You know how you had a growth spurt?
Yeah.
So I was the tallest amongst my peers until year 9. And when you go younger, in like year 2, year 3, I was like abnormally tall compared to all my friends. Like I was just like, everyone thought that I was way older than what I was.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped in year 9 where year 9 was the first time I noticed, oh, there's a guy that's about the same height as me. And then like, bruh, then I stopped and everyone kept going.
That's
Or like, so they
weird.
came to my height or they were slightly taller. I'm not a particularly short guy, but I'm just saying like, I just stopped after year 9.
You know what's weird? In my year at school, a lot of my mates, we all had like, I was a bit late, but we all had growth spurts, bro. If I can count like, apart from a few mates, if I can count on my hand, bro, like all my mates are like 6'2". All of them are crazy tall. It's bizarre.
Dude, first of all, like I think white people are taller. That's one.
Yeah, they're all white.
That is, and like, dude, a certain stock of white people, like, okay,
Scandinavians.
actually, not all white people are taller because, like, I think the average height in England is actually 5'9" or 5'8". There's short people in England, and that's a white stock as well.
Yeah. Anglo.
But if you're like Viking blood,
Oh, yeah.
oh, bro,
Yeah. Have you met,
they are they're super tall.
Have you met Farbs?
Yeah.
He's like 70 million feet.
They're the tallest people on earth,
Bro, he's like got like a foot on me or some shit. He's tall as shit.
and their average height is like close to 6 foot.
That's amazing.
In
Is it because of the
Scandinavia.
air up there or something?
I don't know. I can't be the air. I don't know the answer to that.
Gravity, like the...
No, I don't know if it's gravity.
Okay, yeah.
I think it might be nutrition. I think it might
Fish.
be. I think because they were isolated for some time. Maybe they had like good genes that kept circulating in, and they didn't have like a lot of short kings like myself from the south coming in,
ruining their
giving
stock.
up their asses to big Viking men. You know?
Did the Vikings ever go or in your region?
They did.
No way.
Dude, they were like the Crusaders for the longest time.
So what? There's like Pakistanis with red beards that are tall and shit.
Well, I don't know if they're descendants of Vikings, but I'm sure some of them are. But you meet Pakis that are like, but I think they get, there's like talk about their ancestors being Greek because they came with the Alexander's army and Alexander's army like stationed in that part of the world, Afghanistan.
You know what's funny? There's 2 Indian guys in my soccer team taller than me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's not a standard. You get tall people. My brother's pretty tall as well.
That's true.
My brother's like close to your height. Yeah.
Why is the Baron so tall? Is that his name? Trump's kid.
Because his wife, dude. First of all,
Melania.
Trump is a tall man.
How tall is Trump?
Trump's like 6'1", 6'2".
Oh shit!
But his wife is really tall for a woman.
So the kid's just
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, it's something I'm gonna after this Google who's tallest. What country is the tallest?
Scandinavia.
Weird.
And shortest, I think, are like
China.
Koreans, if I'm not wrong.
Why is that?
Man, they just love short people, short dicks. They kind of they got the brains, but they didn't get a lot of other stuff, you know. They also got the style. They're really stylish people, artsy people.
I remember when I was in Japan.
Hardworking, just small chodes.
I remember I was in Japan. I was waiting on some like comments from people and I was nothing. And then one of the last days we went into this pub and I went to pay or whatever. And like they all come up to like here on me. And like I was just going to pay and the guy was just like, "You're very tall." And I was just like, yeah. And then this was like, "Oh, very tall." I'm like, yeah, it's true, bro.
What can I do? It's a tough existence, you know. Do you want to know what the weather's like up here?
There's also photos of me, which I'll show you on my phone, in every bathroom in Korea, because I was in Korea not long ago. And I took this series of photos, bro. I'd go in the bathroom in a pub or our Airbnb, bro. The roof is about here. Like standing up. Like say I'm standing right now because I can't be bothered. I'm standing, the roof's here. So I would take a photo of me, the roof is here, and I'm just like, take a selfie. I'm like, I pulled my back out one day because I was taking a shower. I'm like, I have to sit in the shower. I can't stand. It's very funny.
It is funny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Tell us in your comments.
How tall are you?
No, not how tall are you. But if you're a woman, tell us, why do you think height matters? Is it just an attractive thing or is there like some other reason? Like, for example, you need things from like a high space and you need like a guy to do it for you.
Shelf.
And if you're a guy, like, you know,
tell us
what do you have a version of that height thing?
Yeah, how do you discriminate against the
how do you discriminate against
Be
women?
explicit, you know.
But thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us in this Shawarma FM
We will
edition.
see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See you next week.